So, it's been like, what, a month since my last troll video on JoJo Part 9 was released, and in a turn of events, JoJo Part 9 was actually announced today. Who would have thunk it? JoJo Part 9, also known as JoJo Land as its current placeholder name, has been confirmed, and obviously the JoJo hype has not died, especially since the Stone Ocean trailer that was released for JoJo Part 6. That said, it was also announced that a spin-off is in the works, where the story will be centered around Josuke Higashikata and Whole Horse. But anyways, I look forward to it, and well, it's JoJo, so should you. Here is the source, but you're gonna have to squint a bit because the picture is actually quite blurry. I'm sorry. It was just an opportunity I couldn't let go of. It was just way too golden. But anyways, that's it. Hey everyone, it's Biscord, and today I'll be discussing the high possibility of a new JoJo's Bizarre Adventure game in the wake of the Part 9 announcement. That said, let's get into it. So, JoJo. New part coming out, and with that said, JoJo has a history of capitalizing on golden opportunities. Last big JoJo game to be released was JoJo's Bizarre Adventures Eyes of Heaven, which was an action sort of quote-unquote sequel to All-Star Battle, which was released in 2015 for the PlayStation 3 and the PlayStation 4. Definitely an amazing game. You should definitely check it out. Amazing plots, amazing villain, Heavenly Ascension Dio. Fine, it's basically, if you haven't played the game, it takes the whole situation of what if Dio won at the end of part 3, and then it just goes on from there. So I definitely recommend you check that out. That said, the game that came before, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle, also an amazing game. I'm not sponsored, I'm just telling you from my own experience. I really enjoyed it, but maybe that's just because I'm obsessed with JoJo. But anyways, All-Star Battle is an action game that featured characters from JoJo Part 1 to Part 7, so Phantom Blood till Steel Ball Run. And then Eyes of Heaven released and featured more characters from Part 1 to 7, and then added 2 characters from JoJolion, or, well, Part 8, whatever you want to call it, because at the time of the game's release, JoJolion had only been in its very recent volumes, being at volume number 9. I know 9 out of 25 volumes is a lot, but just consider that Araki updates JoJo like once a month. That's why it took like 10 years to like roughly get 105 chapters. I'm saying roughly because, again, just don't come after my throat. This was around the time where there were only 2 good stands, where it's Soft and Wet and Nut King Call. Honestly, I love the name of these stands. Anyways, with that said, when JoJo Part 9 releases, we can expect a game to follow within the next 5 years after the release of the first chapter. And yes, I know 5 years is a long time. Okay, 5 years is a long time. But then again, remember, chapter updates take like a long time as well. It's like once a month. This game will probably be another action game because action games in JoJo perform well, and maybe this time this game will cater more to Part 8 stands and users, but also include JoJo Part 9 characters. Depending on when the game is released during the chapter release, at minimum, the game will have 2 characters like Eyes of Heaven with JoJolion's cast, and at most, Part 9 character selection will be up to 4. I am calling it right now. Nothing more, because again, the game won't be released when the series has ended, but will most likely be released when the series is halfway through development. Now, the biggest issue with these games is that throughout the years, JoJo has been very PlayStation exclusive. It's one of those type of games, you know? It's a PlayStation exclusive franchise, and it hasn't made its way to Xbox. It's peeked its head around the Dreamcast, you know? That said, it does affect their sales because they could be making so much more money if they catered to like PC gamers and Xbox. They just made it multi-platform. Instead, we have PC gamers who emulate the game or pirate the game. It's just for the sake of entertainment, and if they just don't have a console. Also, I'm just gonna question, why do you have like a super high-end gaming PC if you don't have a console? But anyways, that's another discussion for another day. I'm not about to jump into that. Anyways, if this new JoJo game were to be multi-platformed, not only would the sales be better, it can appeal to a wider audience. Because speaking from experience, right? Just me talking to you, we're friends. Let me just tell you my experience with Bandai Namco and the whole idea of their marketing. Okay, so growing up with a PlayStation 2, I would be so drawn to Bandai Namco games because it was basically the production company for anime games. It is well known for making anime games, smash hit anime games, top quality. Okay, I'm going on a tangent, but anyways, it was known for creating such good anime games like Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3. Everyone who had a PlayStation 2 that was into anime had that game. If you didn't actually own a PlayStation 2. Bro, why? So, if I saw a Bandai Namco game at the shops, I knew it would be enjoyable because it was made by an anime game company. And they basically put me on to different animes. Whenever they make an anime and I haven't watched it yet, I'll play the game and then be like, oh, this is cool. Let me check out the actual anime itself. So, Bandai Namco should use that influence. They're not thinking properly. Bandai Namco should use that influence in order to promote to a larger audience. When people see Naruto Storm 4, they start getting into it. When people see Dragon Ball FighterZ, yes, I know a lot of people did grow up with Dragon Ball, but even people who aren't Dragon Ball like fanatics, if they saw the esports of Dragon Ball FighterZ, they start going, Dragon Ball Z, let me download the game. That gives Bandai Namco more money, that gives Dragon Ball more coverage. They should just work together, big brain this. They should use their influence in order to promote to a larger audience, assuming most people are like me. So as a request to Bandai Namco and Araki Hirohiko, make your next JoJo game multi-platformed. You're doing yourself a favor because I want to be able to play JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, this new game, on PC as well. And I know I'm the type of person who will purchase the game on PC and console just for the situation, for like PC for at home and then console if I decide to travel. So, assuming people are like me, you are missing a golden opportunity. Use your influence and make it multi-platformed. That way you can make yourself more money, okay? It shouldn't be that hard. Making it PlayStation exclusive, especially when it's an anime game, is it's very limiting. It would be really nice to play the next JoJo game on a PS5, which I don't own. Sad music. But anyways, you should really consider that. Long story short, what do you need to expect from this next JoJo game that will come out? Expect more JoJolian characters, even if it's just like one, but expect a maximum of 3 JoJo Land characters for part 9, depending on the release date of the game and when the series is in terms of the manga. Now, also, because it's Bandai Namco, expect recycled finishes because Bandai Namco just enjoys doing that type of stuff, which sucks, but it is what it is. Actually, a recommendation would be if you were to select a variation of your character to have different finishes and possible movesets. That way, you won't get bored fast from just another action game. So think of like Mortal Kombat where you had different variations and different fatalities. Do that just for anime games. Because, again, people won't get bored as fast because it's like, oh, it's just another action game. Let me play. Oh, shit, I'm bored. Let me just dump the game. No, if you had more variety, then it becomes more interesting. Especially for matchmaking, especially when you do for something if you became big enough to become an esports, which is unlikely, but just consider that. Now, I understand the work, the money, the production, a lot goes into making a video game, but it will be worth it in the end. And then as JoJo Land updates its chapters, you can release new characters as DLCs. That way you can keep the audience coming, spending more money. Kind of like what you tried with My Hero 1's Justice, but actually good and better. Just consider that. Also, expect the game to come out on PS4 and PS5. It's just how it is since JoJo apparently is a PlayStation exclusive. Whether or not it comes out on anything else except for PlayStation devices, just pray, or in this case emulate, because that's the only thing you can do. It would be interesting though if they made the next game a mixture of All-Star Battles and Eyes of Heaven, in which they just copy the Naruto Storm series formula, because there was this one YouTuber who made a video in which they included Dio in Naruto Storm 4, and it worked so nicely and seamlessly. I was just like, I needed that. I need it. That definitely needs to be a thing. And I will leave a link to that video in the description. You definitely need to check it out. Bro! I'm starting to hype myself up right now, but I'm just saying, Bandai Namco, listen, try that formula. I know Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, they're trying that formula of making a Storm 4-esque type of game for their series, and so far from what we have seen from like this very small gameplay, it looks good. So do the same thing for JoJo. And I know people will get annoyed. There's like, oh, there are so many Naruto clones and Naruto ripoffs. If it works, it works. Just keep doing what you're doing and you will get a lot of money. Plus, if you're using similar assets and similar type of animation, production, quality, all of that stuff, it becomes a bit more cheaper. You can produce good quality content for a cheaper price. Also, look, this is a formula you definitely need. It will work out for you. Trust me, Bandai. If you're watching, listen to the community. We are the ones that give you money, so it is best to learn from the fandom what to provide to the fandom. That said, if you made it this far, you know the rules, and so do I. Just subscribe, because half of y'all watching aren't subscribed, and subscribing really helps the channel. It motivates me to keep going, and that means you get more content. So it is a trade offer. I get a sub, you get content. Deal? Deal. Now, if you're on full PC screen mode and you're just too lazy to exit it, just hover over that small icon on the bottom right of the screen that looks like this and shortcut that subscription. That is all. This has been Biscord signing out. Bye.